next question. Oh, I have to explain. We were going to do a question on alcohol. So Kylie said, shall I bring a bottle of champagne? So we poured the alcohol and then realised we needed to do another question first because Katy's got to shoot off in a minute, which is very much a Katy question. So we're boozing. Anyway, it's Christmas. Cheers. So cheers. But this is the thing, isn't it? A little bit of what you love. Do love a glass of champagne. Is all good. And this is part of what we're saying in all of these questions, really. You know, savour the stuff that you like and don't eat and don't drink the stuff you don't like, which is very ties in nicely with our next question, which is, what are the best options at a beige buffet party? Are there any good options? None. Okay.
No. So the way I would approach a beige buffet party is to plan in advance. Control what you can control earlier in the day. Make sure you're hitting your 5 a day earlier on, you know, breakfast, lunch, so that by the time you go to the party, you're ideally not hungry if it's sort of just finger foods. And also that you've got all your nice sort of slightly more nutritionally dense foods banked. So you've had those earlier in the day. When it comes to the actual beige platter that's coming around, you know, your sausage rolls, your vol au vents, all of the generally beige.
We shan't mention a certain high street shop that does a lot of frozen foods, but anyway, it's that kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
pastry.
A lot of pastry.
Lots and lots of pastry.
Yeah.
Something you can do is choose what you actually fancy. So if something's coming round, try not to go, oh, I'll just be good and have the thing that you think is healthiest. Look at the platter, think about what you fancy, and as you choose it, just eat it without sort of talking to anybody else. Really enjoy it. So as you're sort of eating it, try and be mindful about as you're eating it. Really enjoy it. There's some lovely sort of buttery pastry flavours that come through some of those. Some of them are delicious. Also, if it's not quite what you fancied, feel free just to pop it back or pop it down. You know, normally you get some sort of plate. There's no need to finish the whole thing if it wasn't quite as good as you thought it might be, or if it's not quite hitting the spot. So what people often do is choose what they think they should have to be good, and then end up eating what they actually wanted anyway at the end of it. So have a little bit of what you fancy.
So, and as I like to say, the best option is to use some exercise, use your arms and push the plate away. Because, if you eat a meal before you go out, then you're less likely to want to eat it. And that's the trouble, isn't it? When you're drinking alcohol, you think, oh, I need to eat something because I need something to soak up the alcohol. And that's what that food does, doesn't it? It soaks, or what we think it's going to soak up the alcohol. So we tend to eat it. But if we've eaten a meal before, then we shouldn't need to do that. Yeah. So, Katy, if you are the host of a beige buffet party, what I'm saying, what can we do to get rid of all that kind of food?
Yeah, well, firstly, just make it not beige. I mean, my platters and things that I do are all about the colour. I love the colour, and that's what makes them look really lovely. So I think if you're focusing on getting some colour into what you're putting on your platter, putting out for your guests, I think instantly, naturally, it'll often then be, come from some vegetables. So then you're getting, something a little bit better in there for you.
Because you do lovely pinks and really bright colours in your platters.
Yeah, and that all comes from the vegetables. Like I might make a beetroot hummus and it makes it a lovely bright pink colour. Or I've got a lovely carrot and walnut dip that I do. And then on lots of the toppings, I'm always concentrating on just getting some colour in. So it might just be some little roasted cherry tomatoes.
So simple, aren't they? And you roasted those tomatoes?
Just roast the cherry tomatoes in the oven for sort of 40 minutes on a low temperature, and it makes them super sweet. And then they can just go on top of some, little tarts or little bits of toast. And then, just getting like lots of, fresh herbs scattered on the top and a bunch of herbs, all of that thing gives it a nice bit of colour. Butternut squash, I think, is a great one because that's really versatile. You can roast that in the oven, and then I might use it for a tart topping. You can use that for a dip. I've got a nice recipe for a dip. So I think it is, if you focus on getting the colour in there, then the goodness and the vegetables will naturally come through. And then, of course, you can put on crudités or, some bunches of grapes for people to pick out, that kind of thing as well.
So there's lots of things we can do to make it really interesting, but if that is your only option, just don't. Why do you want to eat something that actually you don't really like? I mean, I think this is a key thing that comes through with surviving Christmas. We're faced with all these foods that are traditional, so we kind of, we've got to have Christmas pudding, we've got to have sausage rolls, we've got to have mince pies because it's Christmas, and that's what we do. but are they actually really our natural choices? Are they foods that we really want to eat? And use a bit of, rebel a little bit actually, and go, no, I don't want to eat those foods, because actually this stuff is much tastier, isn't it? It's got a lot more nutrition in it, and it's a lot tastier. So if you are the host, provide tasty food, because people will actually really appreciate it and will actually want to eat it. And it comes down to taste, doesn't it, as well,
It does.
Kylie?
Yeah, and it's about, people have different tastes. Some people absolutely love mince pies. Jen, you were saying you really don't love mince pies, but because there's often, my clients often talk about a social pressure to eat, and I'm sure you've had a situation where someone comes with a tray of mince pies and sort of says, oh, go on, have another one, go on. And while well-meaning, there's often a bit of offence taken if you don't have that one, and it's finding those words to say, do you know what, I'm absolutely stuffed, that was delicious, thank you so much, and just closing it down.
And in some cultures, we don't do this so much in the UK, but I know I was abroad very recently, and I think in some countries it's really taken offence if you don't eat, and they literally will almost force feed you the food. And I was in this situation and I really didn't want to eat this, but it was literally, the food was put in my mouth. It's like, oh, you've got to try it. And actually that's really offensive, isn't it, if somebody does that to you, if you really don't want to eat it. So I suppose if you are the holder of a buffet party, I think do we have to carry trays around? I don't know if that makes a difference, but obviously people, if they want to eat, then the food's there, but don't make it such a big thing. Or should we not be doing buffets at all? I know your food is all about platters, isn't it? It's about what you do. You provide a platter, but should we be eating a meal beforehand? Should we be actually eating those platters? How do you? Because you create platters for various different events and things like that. How, in what context should we be eating food which is just little?
I think a lot of the idea around the platters is that it's something social. It's definitely meant to be relaxed. It's meant to be social. So I guess that is the thing where people can help themselves. They're not feeling that somebody's got a tray in front of them, or somebody's, the host has home cooked something that you really feel bad if you don't eat something. Whereas if it's laid out on the table, you can go and have a little pick at it. You can walk away. And it's social, so you can, if you want to, you can mingle around the table, and it's a bit of a talking point, especially if it looks lovely. People will start commenting and asking what things are.
And you must get that about your food all the time. It must become a talking point, because it does look so. And you've got to go to Katy's Instagram page. I mean, her food is absolutely stunning, and that does provide, I mean, it invites you in. You are drawn to it.
And if anything, actually, it probably slows people down on tucking in, because at an event recently that I did, I could see everybody sort of hovering near it, but because I'd made it look really pretty and it looked lovely, nobody wanted to be the first person to sort of go in and and take something. Maybe it sort of maybe it slows down the eating, because people don't want to sort of go straight in and destroy it.
It's a really interesting
maybe that helps.
And that goes back to what you were saying about appreciating, being mindful about what you're eating. It's like, actually, look at a plate, taste it, savor it, visualize what it is that you are actually eating, and appreciate it. And if it is a boring beige buffet party, then don't eat it. Actually, you need to get some better hosts. Actually, leave the party, go somewhere else. Go to one of Katy's parties; they're going to be much better. Oh, thank you. I think there's some brilliant answers to that beige buffet question, even if I can't say it. Thanks, guys. Hello, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did enjoy it, please do subscribe to our channel and comment and like on the video so that we can continue to provide you with lots of free content.